Flying cars used to belong only in science fiction, but in China, that future has arrived. This isn't just a flashy prototype or a distant dream. It's a real, working machine taking to the skies right now. With cutting-edge technology and a surprisingly affordable price tag, it could change the way we travel forever. But are our cities ready for skies filled with cars? Or will this revolutionary invention crash into challenges no one saw coming? Today, we break down its features, its cost, and whether the world is truly prepared for the biggest transportation revolution in history. The Xpeng X2, China's flying revolution. Crowded cities, endless traffic jams, polluted skies, that's daily life for millions. But what if escaping all of that was as simple as pressing a button and lifting off into clean air? That's exactly what China's Xpeng Aero HT is working on. Forget science fiction, the future is here, and it's called the Xpeng X2. This machine isn't a prototype tucked away in a lab. It's a real, functioning electric flying car, sleek, futuristic, and ready to change how we think about travel. Unlike planes or helicopters, it doesn't need a runway. The X2 takes off and lands vertically like a drone, making it perfect for cities packed with people and cars. The X2 can carry 2 passengers plus luggage, cruising at speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour with a flight time of around 30 minutes, enough to cross a congested city in minutes instead of hours. Built from aerospace aluminum and carbon fiber, it's strong yet lightweight, while 8 independent rotors provide balance and safety. If one rotor fails, the others keep it in the air. Inside, it's loaded with advanced tech, 4G and 5G connectivity, 360-degree sensors, real-time video streaming, and even an emergency parachute system. It can fly itself back to safety if something goes wrong. And because it's all electric, it's silent and produces 0 emissions, a huge step forward in cutting urban pollution. What's even more surprising is its size. At just under 17 feet long, it's about the same footprint as a mid-size car. That means you can literally park your flying car in a standard garage. The Xpeng X2 isn't just cool, it's practical. In a world where cities are choking on traffic and pollution, it offers a new path forward. It's not the distant future anymore. The revolution is already in the skies above us. So here's the real question. Will the world embrace it, or are our cities still unprepared for skies full of cars?
The test flight. Not every test flight makes global headlines, but when a sleek electric flying car lifted into the skies of Dubai, the world stopped to watch. In 2022, Xpeng's X2 flying car made its first ever public test flight right by Skydive Dubai, in full view of the iconic Palm Jumeirah. This wasn't hidden behind closed doors. It was bold, open, and unforgettable. The Dubai Civil Aviation Authority granted a special permit, and about 150 guests gathered to witness history, including officials from the Chinese consulate, Dubai's Chamber of Commerce, the World Trade Center, and international media. Cameras rolled, hearts raced, and as the X2 quietly rose above the city, it felt like a glimpse of the next 50 years. That flight carried no passengers, but the meeting went far deeper. Behind the scenes, Xpeng Aero HT had spent months preparing, conducting risk assessments, safety reviews, detailed manuals, and meeting international standards. Dubai's aviation authorities worked hand in hand with Xpeng to ensure everything was flawless. When the green light finally came, it wasn't just a test, it was a statement. The X2 shown that day wasn't the end goal, it was just the beginning. The plan is for these aircraft to cruise at low altitudes around 300 feet, weaving across city skylines. Yet the X2 can climb much higher, up to 3,200 feet if needed, with a range of about 35 minutes per flight, enough for quick, efficient trips inside a city. For the audience in Dubai, this was no sci-fi movie, this was reality unfolding before their eyes, an electric aircraft gliding over a modern city, hinting at a future where the skies themselves become highways. Leaders in Dubai embraced it too. Hassan al-Hashimi, acting director general of Dubai Chambers, called it a moment that captured the city's spirit, ambition, innovation, and a vision for the future. This wasn't just about flying cars, it was about reshaping how people live and move. Then, in 2023, Xpeng's X2 made another leap. It became the first manned electric vertical takeoff and landing, or eVTOL, licensed for flight in China. The Civil Aviation Administration of China granted the certification, marking a milestone not just for Xpeng, but for the country's vision of the skies. And this ties into something even bigger: China's rapidly growing low-altitude economy. Think of it as a new layer of the transportation system. Everything under 1,000 meters, from drones to air taxis, is part of this emerging industry, and China's betting big on it. Officials project that by 2035, it could be worth 3.5 trillion yuan. This isn't just talk. Policies are being written, investors are pouring in, and entire industries are pivoting. Drone makers, battery engineers, AI developers, and even agriculture tech companies are carving out their place in this new era economy. Artificial intelligence is playing a huge role, improving navigation, safety, and automation. Cities are opening new air routes, and the sky itself is slowly becoming an urban highway. For Xpeng X2, the journey has just begun. With the X2 now licensed, the focus shifts to more test flights, collecting real-world data, and moving closer to mass production. The dream of flying cars is no longer locked in sketches or science fiction. It's in the air, flying over real cities witnessed by real people. The question is no longer if flying cars will happen, it's how soon.
Xpeng has never been a company that plays it safe, and the land aircraft carrier proves it once again. After making headlines with their futuristic flying car, the X2, they returned in 2024 with something even more ambitious, an entirely new class of vehicle that combines the practicality of road travel with the freedom of flight. They call it the land aircraft carrier, and despite its naval-inspired name, it is not a ship, but a dual-mode transport system designed to move effortlessly on the ground and rise into the air when needed. This bold creation is made of two main components that work together in harmony: a large six-wheeled carrier vehicle and a detachable flying module that docks right on top of it. The first part, the carrier, is a road vehicle Xpeng describes as the mothership. It measures roughly 5.5 meters long, 2 meters wide, and 2 meters tall, larger than most vans and giving it a commanding road presence. Its design borrows from both minimalism and ruggedness, offering clean lines, flush door handles, and smooth curves across the body, while still looking muscular and futuristic, almost like a blend of a luxury minivan and an armored truck. Many have compared it to the Tesla Cybertruck, but with a softer, more refined aesthetic. It sits on 6 wheels with 3 axles, giving it stability and strength for carrying the weight of the flying module. Interestingly, you won't find traditional side mirrors on this prototype, signaling that the design is still in development and likely preparing for camera-based vision systems instead. Under the hood, the carrier runs on what Xpeng calls an extended range electric system, or EVVR. It's built on an 800-volt high-voltage platform, and unlike a standard EV, its onboard engine doesn't directly power the wheels. Instead, it acts as a generator, producing electricity for the motors and charging the battery pack. This unique setup gives it remarkable efficiency and range, reportedly capable of traveling up to 1,000 kilometers before needing a recharge or refuel. That means the vehicle isn't just futuristic, it's practical enough for long-distance travel, which is essential if it's going to serve as the base station for an air vehicle. But, of course, what makes the land aircraft carrier truly special is the second half of its design, the flying module. At first glance, it resembles an oversized drone with 6 arms and foldable propellers. When docked, it sits seamlessly on top of the carrier, compact and folded in a way that minimizes space. The folding design isn't just for looks, it's essential for fitting within the vehicle's dimensions while still allowing the road unit to operate like a normal car. According to Xpeng engineers, designing the folding system was one of the biggest challenges, since the rotors had to collapse inward without sacrificing performance or durability. When it's time to fly, the transformation is mesmerizing. The aircraft's 6 arms unfold in about 4 minutes, though the company is working on reducing that time to under 3 minutes. Once deployed, the propellers whir to life and the flying module lifts smoothly into the air, detaching from the carrier with full automation. The separation and docking system is entirely automatic, requiring no manual adjustments from the passenger. Once airborne, the flying unit can operate in 2 modes: manual, where trained pilots use a joystick for full control, or fully autonomous, where the vehicle handles everything from takeoff to navigation and landing. In autonomous mode, passengers simply select their destination, and the onboard system charts the safest and most efficient path through the sky. Charging the flying module is also remarkably fast. Once docked, it draws power directly from the carrier's high-voltage system. Going from 30% to 80% charge takes only 18 minutes, which is incredibly fast compared to standard electric cars. With a full charge, the aircraft is capable of performing 5 to 6 short city flights, making it perfect for quick hops over congested traffic or emergency missions where every second counts. This system creates a seamless loop: drive where you need to go, take off above obstacles, then return to the road without long waiting times. But Xpeng didn't create the land aircraft carrier just for the thrill of flying over traffic. The company envisions it as a vehicle designed for critical, real-world applications. In emergency scenarios, it could be a lifesaver. Imagine medical teams needing to reach an accident site blocked by traffic or debris. The land aircraft carrier could drive close to the location, deploy the flying module, and quickly transport supplies or even patients to safety. It could also assist in natural disasters, where roads are damaged by floods, landslides, or earthquakes, giving responders the ability to bypass obstacles entirely. In high-rise urban areas, the vehicle could even be used for evacuation missions, picking people up from rooftops when ground-level access is impossible.
Initially, the vehicle will not be buzzing freely above neighborhoods. Instead, Xpeng plans to deploy it in controlled zones for public service, government use, and test programs. This cautious rollout makes sense, since regulations for flying cars are still being written worldwide. But these early deployments are crucial for proving how valuable and reliable the technology can be. With time, and after enough successful operations, the vision is to expand into commercial use, eventually making flying vehicles as common as traditional cars. Xpeng X2, the division behind this project, is serious about making it a reality. They secured $150 million in Series B funding to push development forward, focusing on refining the design, improving production, and preparing for large-scale manufacturing. Originally, the company had aimed to begin production in 2025, with deliveries that same year, but the timeline has since shifted. The new plan schedules production for 2026, as Xpeng works on completing a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility to ensure the vehicle meets safety and quality standards before reaching buyers. When it finally hits the market, China will be the first country to receive it, thanks to the nation's relatively fast-moving regulatory framework for new transportation technologies. Pricing hasn't been confirmed yet, but insiders suggest it will cost under $300,000. While that might sound expensive at first glance, it's surprisingly affordable for a machine that can both drive on roads and fly through the sky. In fact, it places the land aircraft carrier in the same price bracket as some high-end luxury cars, which makes it an attractive option for wealthy early adopters. The interest has already been staggering. Xpeng X2 has received over 310 pre-orders, showing that people are not only intrigued by the idea, but willing to commit real money to it. And this isn't just limited to China. The buzz has spread internationally, with enthusiasts and innovators across the globe eager to see how this technology will reshape personal mobility. It's also worth noting that Xpeng isn't the only player in this space. Across the ocean in Orlando, Florida, a company called Louvcar is working on a similar project that pairs a land vehicle with a flying module. Their design is hydrogen-powered and features a detachable unit they've nicknamed the flying forklift, since it can actually lift the land vehicle into the air. While the approaches differ, the underlying vision is the same, merging land and air travel into one seamless system. This shows that the concept is gaining traction worldwide, with multiple companies exploring different ways to solve the same problem. Of course, massive challenges still remain. For flying vehicles to become a part of everyday life, governments will need to rethink air traffic regulations, build new infrastructure like urban vertiports and charging hubs, and ensure that autonomous systems are safe in unpredictable weather and crowded skies. Public acceptance is another hurdle. People need to feel comfortable with the idea of small aircraft flying overhead on a daily basis. And then there's the question of cost. While $300,000 may be accessible to a few, it's far from affordable for the average family. Over time, though, as production scales up and technology improves, costs are expected to fall, just as they did with electric cars. Still, the direction is clear. What once seemed like science fiction is now entering real-world testing. Flying vehicles are no longer just flashy concepts from movies. They are becoming part of serious discussions in transportation, urban planning, and technology. If projects like the land aircraft carrier succeed, they could fundamentally reshape how we think about travel. No longer would we be limited to choosing between cars and airplanes. Instead, we would have a hybrid that offers the best of both worlds. For crowded megacities struggling with traffic congestion, pollution, and emergency response delays, that could be a game changer. So while the Xpeng X2 flying car captured headlines as a sleek air taxi, the land aircraft carrier shows us something even more daring, a future where mobility is flexible, adaptive, and no longer bound by the ground. It's more than hype. It's a glimpse into how cities of the future may function, with vehicles that glide seamlessly between roads and skies. And as Xpeng continues pushing boundaries, it's becoming harder to dismiss the idea that within the next decade, flying cars might finally leave the realm of science fiction and become part of daily reality.